Welcome back to part 2 of the World Series featuring the Salem Phantoms. My name is Kasabe, and we got some work to do. We're down 3-0 here in the World Series to the Florida Tides. We ended up sweeping the Houston Astronauts, and the Florida Tides came back from a 3-1 deficit to make the World Series. They beat the Vancouver Mounties, so anything is possible, but it's not good how you're able to sweep one team and then maybe get swept by the next. We lost Game 1 of the World Series. We went down 6-1, had a late rally, and then I had a mind blunder from there. So I know it's possible to win on Legends. We just had some mishaps. We gave up a grand slam at one point. From there, again, like, we have to simulate 3 games, even if we win this next game, and see what happens from there. We'll go ahead and get into some game action, though. On the mound today is Gabriel Gonzalez. I don't think Johnny Cabrera has actually gotten any action in the postseason, but he has dropped all the way down to a 72 overall. I don't know if I want to use him on Legends. Newsom and Johnson could come out for this game if absolutely necessary, but we do kind of need to save them for a 7-game series in the case that we fight back. Looks like they did quite a bit of switching around here on offense, so I have to adjust the lineup here. So here's what I'm going to do for the lineup. Cordova, even though he's on a cold streak, is our best contact versus left. At the top of the lineup, I have Cervantes in the 3-hole, Campillo in the 4-hole. Actually, I'm going to move McCall down a bit too. And then we have Lee, Cabrera, Castro, who do a little bit better against lefties, but if they do bring in a right-hander out of the bullpen, I do want somebody like McCall to kind of split the gap. He is really good against righties. And as much as I want to start Irizarry against a lefty, I mean, I kind of just need him on the bench just in case, but also that vision and contact on Legend is going to be very hard to get like a solid swing off of, so I might have to save him for a good clutch situation. But here we go. The Tides are looking to sweep the World Series. Phantoms looking to stay alive at home. One of our best contact hitters is out for the game in Patrick Williams, so that's kind of a bummer, especially on Legends. You do need a little bit of that contact boost. In some cases, he got a home run in our first game of the World Series, that one that just stayed fair and hit the foul pole. And here is Gonzalez on the mound. They haven't been showing stats in the World Series very often, so they just kind of have these intro packages with nothing on the screen. And here we go. I forgot to move my camera last time out. It was at the top of the screen and it was covering the base runners, so we're back to normal. Gonzalez with a 4-seam and 2-seam fastball combo, and immediately leaves a 2-seamer out over the middle of the plate. That is destroyed on the first pitch for a home run. Tides up 1-0 early, and we alluded to it earlier in the franchise, or before the World Series started. They're not a very powerful team, so like they are capitalizing on all of these mistakes here on Legend. And get a look there at the 2-seamer. I mean, again, just a perfect swing by the opposition, but that 2-seamer went right back down the middle instead of inside like I was trying to right there. And even then, he was able to get a good swing on it foul. Gonzalez v. Gonzalez. We're going to try for the off-speed now. Change up. Bounced over to Castro, who's playing at second base today for the injured Patrick Williams. But Gonzalez doesn't have much for velocity or break. So, like, control is going to be what kind of makes him sink or swim here in his outing. After a home run to lead off the game, he's bounced back and gotten the next 2 outs. If you get a look at the par here, which is like the little circle around the ball, you can see that it's very tight, like he has good control. The walks per 9, though, just getting used to that on Legends. And there's another one that they're going to take for a ride out to right field for a home run. The Tides have 2 home runs, 2 solo home runs here in the first inning. That one's by Castilla, the cleanup hitter. And not looking good for the Phantoms here. They're down 2-0 early. Fastball, we wanted to get a little bit higher and out of the zone. It stayed right middle cut, about chest high. Grounder over to Cervantes will end the inning. So Gonzalez gives up 2 solo home runs to a non-power hitting team. They do have that short porch over there in right field, but I think that would have cleared the fence anyway. And now we're going to have to bat right away. Their pitcher is Maxwell Nichols, looking to deliver them a championship. 1-0 record so far in the postseason, but an ERA close to 6, a whip of about 1.5. Cordova's not been great in the postseason, batting .213, but I think that's primarily against right-handed pitching. He excels against left-handers more often than not, and we kind of have to like plug him in at the bottom of the lineup sometimes against right-handers, since he is our best defensive option over there. Already a 3-1 count, though, to start off the game. Look at this guy's pitches, though. 100-mile-an-hour fastball, cutter near 100, mid-90s slider and splitter. Well, I guess mid to low 90s, but still, that is insane, especially on Legend. If he throws strikes, I think we're done for. There's a chopper by Cordova. That splitter fooled him a bit. We were trying to go for that fastball. As you can see, we were early and a bit on top of that. There's a look at Nichols' stats. 79 overall. They're 4 starters. Starting pitching is pretty good for the Tides, as we kind of touched over their first 2 guys in the rotation especially. As there's a splitter that kind of looked like a 2-seamer on the outside part of the plate. Nips the outside corner. And man, his pitches are going to break every which way. There's a slider that nearly takes off his kneecap. 2-2 to Taylor if we can get him on base, and then Cervantes does really well against lefties. There we go. There's a rip into left field. Again, that splitter we were just a bit off on, but Taylor able to put a bit better of a swing on it. And now Cervantes with a 3-1 count. Had 4 RBI earlier. I guess that was against the Astronauts, I suppose. 3-2 count. I'm not going to send Taylor over there at first. No sense really putting him in scoring position yet and risking that base runner. And that's exactly why Cervantes, a splitter. That's our best placement on the splitter so far today. And that's where that 70 power against lefties and 90 contact against lefties really comes back into play. Torches that one out to left field for the home run, just over 400 feet. And we are tied right back up at 2 apiece. It's taken all season for me to use Cervantes as a pull hitter. He's been primarily a push hitter. The last few games of the postseason, we've really just found that groove there where he's able to turn on some pitches and hit them out of the ballpark. Campillo in the 4 spot. I kind of put him there instead of McBride since McBride has been struggling for us and does way worse against lefties. So he's a bit further down in the order. I didn't want to put him down at the bottom of the lineup in case we go back to right-handed pitching. It's going to be a soft flare out behind second, but stays up in the air long enough to be caught by the second baseman. There's McBride. I actually put him in the 5 hole. Batting .239 so far this postseason. And again, he really hit a lot of home runs as we started off the year. Got a lot of perfect bombs, but has really just kind of tapered off from there. Not really making solid contact. And part of that is the pitching. They've been really attacking him up and in or way on the outside corner. Like early in the season, we were hitting a lot of golf ones for a home run. There's some contact out to the gap. They're playing no doubles defense, so that's going to drop for a base hit. And there we go. We got McBride going. Now Brian Lee, the hero of the wild card game, is up to bat. Haven't seen him in a while. Hasn't really been in the starting lineup, but we'll see if he can kind of keep that clutch attribute going. And I think my game kind of skipped a little bit there on the stream, but a weak ground out by Lee to end the first. We do tie things back up, though, at 2 apiece. So Gonzalez does have a little bit of wiggle room now as we're tied back up, but we need to keep an eye on him here with his control issues. Sometimes just, too fine of control, like that fastball we kind of wanted at the top of the zone. And it didn't miss by much where I originally placed it, but, you just gotta sometimes, I account for something to go a little bit further away from where I place it, just because on Legend it's a lot harder to hit your spots, especially with somebody lower down in the rotation. But Gonzalez has the best control on the team, I want to say, or maybe like walks per 9. It's kind of like his specialty. So sometimes you just kind of like play that mental game where you try and account for like where you want to place the ball if it moves around a little bit with the meter placement. As there's a throw out by McCall to shortstop over to first to get the first out of the second. That first 2-seamer though of the game, like the very first pitch, that one was definitely one that I didn't want it to go where it wanted to go. That was my first pitch of the game, so just trying to find that release point. But that second home run was definitely a mistake on my end. There's a flare out to Cabrera at third for the out. Again, this is on Legend difficulty. I don't play on Legend too much. I'm obviously not a World Series player. That one's a deep drive out to left. My game has been skipping out a few times on the stream here. I'm not sure what's going on. I hope that the gameplay is clean going forward, as McCall will lead off the bottom of the second with a full count. And that one is going to be out to center field, drops in front of the center fielder for a base hit. So we're getting some good contact off of Nichols. I thought for sure with his velocity that we were going to struggle, especially on Legend. Finding ways to put bat on the ball, which is nice. It's refreshing. We don't do that very often early in the games as of late. Kind of just have some late rallies more than anything. Cabrera late on that fastball again. I think this is kind of where too, like the contacts side of our team, like nobody's really great at anything. It's just kind of like more mid-range in a lot of attributes. They tend to be a little bit better with contact as opposed to power though. So on Legend, if you're trying to like protect and use contact swing, they do have a little bit more of those soft hits that finds some grass. As there's another one, I thought the shortstop was going to grab that one for the out, but he just kind of ran by it to be the cutoff dude. And we have both runners on here to start the bottom of the second. Is it worth bunting with Casto? I might think about it just to get that runner over to third. Drag bunts, popped up, but thankfully not caught by the pitcher. And there you go. There's a successful sacrifice on the drag bunt. I was looking to just do a normal bunt. And now we have the top of the lineup with 2 runners in scoring position and only 1 away. It'll be Cordova, who has exceptional contact versus left-handed pitchers. Just need him to get something that's not to the corner infielders. Gonna try and not swing for a fly ball though, because Cordova can't hit it very far. We want something kind of on the ground. Nichols has missed with back-to-back pitches though to give him a 3-1 count. So we might even be taking here to give Taylor the bases loaded. Taylor's not too bad against lefties himself. And there we go. There's a slider that misses, and a huge opportunity here for the Phantoms. With the bases loaded and only 1 away, Taylor up next. He singled last time out, and then after that you got Cervantes, who just cranked a 2-run home run. 2-1 hitters count for Taylor. That one misses badly. It's 3-1 now, and a walk would give the Phantoms the lead here. So we have to be selective up here at the plate. That's a cutter that goes right back down the middle. It started off on the outside part of the plate, came back in, looked at it all the way, and now Taylor with a full count. That should do the job for a sacrifice fly. I mean, pretty good contact on a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. We just a bit of a piece off of the PCI there, I think, as we'll get a look here. Yeah, man, I mean, I missed that by like a few centimeters, maybe just a bit late on the timing too. As you can see, it's just a bit past the perfect marker. That ball should have been destroyed if we were just a quick, like, nanosecond faster. Cervantes with a splitter right down the middle. That's the one he hit for a home run, although the one he hit for a home run was way more inside than that. But 2-2 count now to Cervantes. It's going to push that one the other way. It's going to squirt into the outfield for a hit. Not enough speed over there at third, though, to push the runner back home. So we have the bases loaded now, again. And I think McBride is up next. No, it's Campillo, my bad. Campillo's up. Some great contact at the plate. And this would be a huge salvo here if we can score a run here with the bases loaded again. We've already taken the lead 3-2 on the sacrifice fly, but like a base hit here might score a couple more. It's going to be out to the right center field gap. It doesn't have enough though to get past the center fielder, so Campillo with a great swing there. Didn't get all of it. We do take the lead 3-2, and I'm confident in our hitting right now. The main thing is, can we battle back with pitching? Gonzalez again gave up 2 solo home runs in the first. Right now he's facing the 9-hole hitter Cannon, who is the catcher, but they had a home run with their leadoff hitter and then their cleanup hitter, as Cannon hits that one back up the middle into center for a base hit, and the Tides have their leadoff runner aboard. I do want to go with a little bit into the game with our starter though, just because I don't want to gas out our bullpen in case we win the game. Like, obviously you need to win to keep the series moving forward, as that one's going to find some grass down the left field line. Throw back in will... Oh, he's going! What the hell? I didn't think he was going, and I hit third base just to throw it to third base. He did it so lackadaisically, and the run's going to score on that. Cannon just got injured though. So, man, that's one of the few times I wish I had throw canceling on, but just, I mean, just a little softy throw to third base, and we didn't know the runner was going. He would have been out by a mile if I had just thrown home instead. So we're back tied at 3, and I was just talking about having Gonzalez go a little bit further into the game so we don't have to go into our bullpen and tire them out too much for the simulated play. But again, you need to win the ball game first more than anything, so if he's struggling, I don't want him in there too long. It's the game within the game. Lee catches that one for out number 2. Florida still with a runner on second with 2 away. And we have to face Castilla, who hit a home run last time out. We're going to attack him on the outside part of the plate. That one stayed a bit middle, but he's late on it. Would have been a double off the wall, perhaps. But we'll live to tell about it. 2-2 count now. We'll go with the changeup low in the zone. And that one, again, does not drop out of the zone. It's out to center field. Taylor relay is late. Florida retakes the lead 4-3. That changeup just above the black there in the zone, and you can't leave it there to the cleanup hitter. He's going to make you pay, this time with an RBI single as opposed to a home run. But again, Florida with the lead. It's just a very back and forth battle right now between the Tides and the Phantoms. This will be pitch number 50 for Gonzalez. He's looking to get the final strike of the 3rd inning. I think we'll go into the 4th inning with him, unless he gives up like a home run or something here. And then maybe go into the bullpen starting in the 5th. I don't know. There's the changeup we were looking for in the dirt. McBride will make the throw to first. Gold Glover McBride behind the plate. And the Phantoms have some work to do again. They left the bases loaded at the end of last inning, and they're down 4-3. Mark Trowbridge will come in at catcher after the injury to Cannon, who was the guy who scored there to tie up the game, the guy that we probably should have gotten at home plate. When we were looking at the roster for the Tides, though, their catcher was the weakest position, and there was a stark contrast from the starter versus the backup. So that guy in the 9 spot now for the Tides, I mean, that should be an easy out right there. We should have every opportunity to get him to swing and miss or make some soft contact. 2-2 count to McBride. Fouled away. And that one, the cut fastball, had a late reaction to that bite at the end. That's only Nichols' first strikeout here. First out in the 3rd, so we've been putting some good bat to ball, like I said, and at least making contact today. Slider up top of the zone, taken for a strike by Lee. So the Phantoms go 1-2-3. They're down 4-3, as the Tides will lead off with 6, 7, and 8 near the bottom of their lineup. Gonzalez with a great slider that nipped the outside corner. Batter stayed with it, to his credit, but it's going to find Lee's glove near the line out in right field. I mean, look at that slider placement. Maybe it could have been a little bit more off the plate, but right on the black there. They've just been hitting some of those pitches even today. There's a fastball. Good placement again. It's tough with the CPU because when you get to Legend, their discipline is just so high that you want to, like, throw it on the black. Because, like, if they take it, it's a strike. But, like, anything close, they just hit very well, too. So it's kind of like, do you try and keep going for the chase pitches? Or do you just put it in a part of the zone that you think they might not be able to hit it with and see what happens? Gonzalez, a very pitch to contact sort of pitcher, though. There's a fastball we left up a bit high in the zone. He was late on it. Back to the mound. Gonzalez, I suppose we'll leave him out there for the 5th. 8, 9, and 1 for the Phantoms. Cabrera 1 for 1 so far today. Nichols almost at 70 pitches here as he starts off the 4th inning. Fastball, which can top out at 99. That time for 96 for a strike. I have been using contact swing quite a bit more today, or for this game, just to kind of fend off that high speed that Nichols has. And I think it's been working a little bit. I'm not sure if the meta is to kind of like swing with contact swing on Legend anyway, just kind of open up that PCI or like the tunnel thing again. That one's going to be down the middle and caught again at center field. We've had a few of those kind of lazy flies out to center today, lazy line drives, but that's kind of what the contact swing provides. Misses again outside. All right, so Casto takes the walk. Nichols starting to tire. Yeah, he has hit 80 pitches now, so in the yellow for energy in Cordova. Again, great against lefties. It's going to be a broken bat on the cutter. My goodness, that had some life on it. And they won't turn 2 on the play, so we'll get a runner into scoring position. But that looked like it was going to be right on the black, maybe a little bit inside, and then it nearly hit him. As you get a look at the PCI there, Jesus. Taylor with a 1-2 count. Takes it. Oh, they called that a strike. No way. That was completely off the plate. We're not going to get a look at it on the replay maybe, but man. Now we're back to Gonzalez. I mean, it begs the age-old question, like, should you protect on 2 strikes, especially with something that close and a runner in scoring position? But that was a straight fastball that was off the plate. Like, I'd understand if it was a bit more of like a breaking pitch. Umpire's starting to give a little bit of the corners on each end now. Gonzalez with a few straight outs in a row. He had a 1-2-3 4th inning and now has the first 2 outs here in the 5th. He might be able to actually go a bit longer. 70 pitches and starting to get back some of that confidence again. Gonzalez versus Gonzalez again, the 2-hole hitter. Out to right field. He was late on it. That was a fastball that was pretty well designed for a base hit or something dangerous. But again, Gonzalez with the 1-2-3 inning. They'll bring in another left-handed pitcher here, Tate O'Neill. 11-10 record this season with a 4 ERA. His first postseason action, it looks like. And, I mean, this is the part of the order you don't want left-handed throwers against. Cervantes, I believe, is 2 for 2 so far today. He hit a 2-run homer in the first to tie things back up at the time. And he's been getting his groove on, as that one was a bit inside, but lasered out to the pitcher's area over there in left field. Man, he's really turning on some inside pitches today. And they attack him outside with the circle change. Good pitch, using his aggressiveness against him. And Cervantes is out for the first time today. Campillo 0 for 2, looking to get some contact going here in the fifth. There's a cut fastball. I mean, that was pretty close to that fastball territory last inning that they called a strike, but evidently not so. 3-1 count now. There's a cutter again late. I don't know if I've just had that circle change in the back of my mind ever since they struck out Cervantes, but Campillo swings and misses at a bunch of pitches in that at-bat. And now we're down to McBride, who again, not good against lefties. 1-2 count. Oh, is all I can say. I've got Chung warming in the bullpen just in case we need him. They have a few left-handed hitters coming up later in the order, but we'll see if Gonzalez can actually stick around for 6 innings. I didn't think he would be able to back when we first had him. In the first inning, give up a couple home runs, and that one's going to find some grass in front of Cordova, so now we have to consider our options here. Gonzalez was really good for the last couple innings, but we don't want this deficit to get any larger. Castilla has more power versus lefties, but less contact by a lot, so I think we're actually going to do a mound visit and bring in Chung. He was very effective in Game 1 of the World Series. I think he struck out everybody he faced. And he needs 3 big outs here, the next 2 at least coming up against lefties. There's a changeup, not called a strike. Fastball on the outside part of the plate, fouled away. He's late, so I'm going to try and attack him inside now with the fastball. And Chung misses for ball 4. Some bad timing on the meter there, and now they have first and second with nobody out. Be great as if we can get Dell to strike out here or perhaps bounce into a double play. He has a 1-2 count. Slider, he took it all the way. Great take there by the designated hitter. And there we go. He froze him on the fastball. Now we're just 1 ground ball away from maybe getting out of the inning. We'll see if he reaches for the changeup here on the outside part of the plate. He was early on it. Chung's slider not really working today, so we're going to go with the fastball and changeup until something else happens. And he swings way inside on that one. Chung with 2 more strikeouts to add to his 3 from the other day in World Series game number 1. Looking to get out of a jam here. Fastball not called again on the outside part of the plate. That one, though, was a good call. And we went back with the fastball, same place. Batter tries to take it the other way. Got a little bit too much loft to it. And Chung works his way out of the jam. We're still down 4-3. It's the bottom of the 6th coming up next. And we'll see if the Tides stick with their lefty here as they face 6, 7, and 8. So indeed, it looks like they'll stick with Tate O'Neill. I think they just really tend to give some ability to the long relievers, especially when they haven't thrown in a while. So they do have a couple guys warming up in the bullpen now, but they're going to stick with this guy for a while, it seems like. Knocked down at first base. Lee's not going to really have the speed to beat that one out, so they'll throw him out at first for out number 1. McCall has had a few small liners out to center field that have both been caught, so just looking to kind of find a little bit of a middle ground. So it reaches the center fielder before he catches it. 2-2 count now. That one was jammed by the cutter. The shortstop barehands it. And instead of tagging McCall, he goes to the base and is late. So great defensive play there by Bermudez. I mean, this one jammed McCall up really bad. And a nice play there, but the throw, the rushed attempt here, and right there, could have just very well tagged McCall coming down the line, but didn't. And there is the tying run. They'll bring in a new pitcher, Adam McDaniel, who has been lights out so far this postseason. Only 1 run given up in 10 1/3 innings so far. Can't remember if this is a guy we actually faced in the game 1, because they had a similar guy who was throwing really well. Changeup just misses, so the umpire is not giving anything low today, just kind of off both sides of the plate. Cabrera with the 2-1 count. That one misses again, the splitter, so a walk here would get the leading run on first base, tying run in scoring position, and McDaniel misses again, so maybe some entertainment here to think about with Casto in the 9th spot. We don't really have a second baseman backup besides Morcaldi, but let's see who we got going on the bench here. Casto has 52 contact and 46 power versus righties, and you know what? We could put in William. It might damage him for the rest of the season too, I suppose. He's injured, like, you know, they have that little band-aid thing, but like it's the thing where he can still play. I'm gonna see if William can work through the pain here, maybe do a pinch hit, give us the lead with his contact, and then we'll put in Morcaldi at second base on defense after that. See what he can do here with a 1-1 count. They miss with the two-seamer, so McDaniel's been really close with some of his pitches so far today, but had a walk and now has William in a hitter's count with one away, runners at first and second. Another one, just missing the zone, and it's 3-1 to William. Hitter's count. Walk here would load the bases for the top of the order. I thought about swinging, but William's not a really good push hitter. He's, even though a good contact guy, a pull hitter mostly. That one's going to be into the hole. We're not going to push the runner, though, from third base. And William does indeed do the job off the bench with a base hit. So we're going to put Morcaldi in as a pinch runner for William. And here's the thing I'm worried about, though. Cordova we had at the top of the lineup to face the lefty. He has not been good against righties so far. Just needs something that's not on the ground, which is primarily what he does. We were talking earlier about getting that RBI opportunity on the ground. He's not a good, like, power hitter, but we need something to the outfield, if anything. He's usually very pull happy to the third base or shortstop side, and he's grounded into a lot of double plays so far this season. That might do the job. It's kind of shallow left center, but we'll chance it here. We need to tie the game. Here's the throw home. It's going to be a bit offline, and the Phantoms have come through in the 6th inning to tie it up at 4 apiece. And now we have Ricky Taylor with 2 away and 2 runners on still. Maybe put a good swing on the ball. He's 1 for 2 today with a single. Cordova just missed that fastball down the middle, but did the job anyhow. And man, if you're the Tides, you do not want to face this guy right here, Ramon Cervantes. A 3-1 count to Taylor. I mean, Taylor can be dangerous too, but Cervantes with the bases loaded, he has been hot recently. We swung with the fastball in. It's late, and the second baseman is going to glove it. So we do tie up the ball game. Again, though, a bit of a missed opportunity with some runners on. It's 4-4 as we go to the 7th. Pretty even game in the box score. Morcaldi again taking over at second base, and here is Bauer out of the bullpen. He's been lights out in his last 4 or 5 outings that we've used with them. Also, I just kind of remembered that error that the Tides had with McCall getting on earlier in the inning kind of led to that scoring opportunity in the first place. So could we have capitalized on it more? Absolutely. But were we lucky to get that run in the first place? I think so, especially with the bottom of the lineup. Tides have 8-9-1 this inning. We'll have the middle of the order 3-4-5. So things are kind of looking up here, especially with Bauer and how well he's been doing recently. He does have a full count here, though, to the 8-hole hitter. We're going to have to challenge him. There's a fastball up in the zone. Not much power in the 8-hole, though. And Lee will take this one away from Taylor in center field for the first out. Here's Mark Trowbridge, again coming in as a defensive replacement after the injury at catcher. 0 for 1 so far today. Swings and misses on the slider. Bauer has been having a nasty slider here. A lot of strikeouts with that pitch. And that one, way out of the zone. Trowbridge follows it and swings and misses for the strikeout. 2 quick outs here for Bauer. We're going to leave him in for the 8th inning, most definitely. As that one, some good contact, but right at Taylor. So there we go. That will end the top of the 7th. The Phantoms with the opportunity here to take the lead with their power bats. Cervantes, 2 for 3 so far. Struck out on that good circle change last time out. Rips that one. Again, we're just starting to find that groove with the inside pitches. They'd be smart to pitch him the other way. As there it is, there's the changeup outside. He's a good push hitter though, so like you really can't attack on the outside part of the plate either. He'll go after that too. There's another one he's early on. We also have McBride in the 5-hole, so if he's facing a righty, I mean, he could untie the game with one swing. We would love a home run to get him out of his cold streak or just his homerless streak. Full count to Cervantes though. And again, they attack him with the slider, the off-speed pitch on the outside part of the plate. Our aggressiveness on some of those pull hits is coming back to get us. I was way too early and jammed the PCI on that one for sure. Campillo 0 for 3 in the cleanup spot today. That one's going to be ripped out to center field. Is he going to catch that? He dove and missed. And probably would have been a double anyway, even without the dive. But there you go. There is your tying run, or go-ahead run, excuse me, at second base. We tied the game up last inning, and there was a great swing by Campillo on a fastball low in the zone. I just love those low fastballs that you can kind of golf out to the outfield sometimes. McBride with a huge chance here to drive in that run from second. Campillo, not much speed over there, so we're going to need something that's kind of a gapper. That's not going to do the job. He tried to turn on the inside fastball. It was way more in than I anticipated, and there's a missed opportunity there for out number 2. Runner does not advance. It'll be up to Brian Lee, who had some postseason heroics earlier, a couple series ago. Oh, he ripped that fastball, but as well early on it. Remember, Lee hit one a perfect the opposite way for a home run. And that one a two-seamer on the outside part of the plate. Great pitch. We were early on it again, which results in a easy chopper to second base. We go to the 8th inning, still tied. Tides again, just a couple innings away, perhaps, from sweeping the World Series. Phantoms looking to stay alive. This is the part of the order I'm worried about for the Tides, though. Especially their cleanup hitter. He's got a home run and a double so far today. Gonzalez, I think, hit a home run in Game 1 of the World Series. Taps that slider foul. That nasty Chuck Bauer slider. He was able to fight it off. He was early on it, though. And there we go. There's the better slider by Bauer. Gets him reaching for the out. Now, the next two guys, you don't really have the option of throwing that slider and having them chase. There are two left-handed hitters up next. Jimenez. It's a two-seamer that was kind of on the outside part of the plate. Not really. And thankfully, he pulled it just a bit, as you can see there. Not quite down the middle, but not quite on the corner what we wanted. And Lee took it in for an out just a few steps in front of the warning track. That very well could have been, if it was just a few inches over to the right, a home run ball. Curveball nearly buckled Castilla. We're going to go with the slider, the one on the feet here, and see if he goes for it. It's going to be up the middle past Bauer, but McCall with the shift will throw over to first. And there you go. Bauer has 2 scoreless innings. Nearly gave up a home run to the 3-hole hitter. But the Salem Phantoms with a chance here to take the lead late in the bottom of the 8th inning. They'll face the lefty, Jimmy Ramirez. Not so good at this postseason so far. 3 innings, 3 runs given up. Going to warm up some guys in the bullpen just in case. But we do have the bottom of the lineup here. McCall actually reached on the error and I think ended up scoring last time out. There's one down the third baseline. Is it going to stay fair? It will. But we're going to keep him over there at first. He is the winning run potentially over there at first base with the leadoff hit. And finally, McCall gets something going here. He's had a few soft liners out to center that didn't land, and now this one. I mean, that's one of the weirder hits I've had all day. But anything works. Anything to stay alive. Cabrera next up, 1 and 2 today. You know, this would be a good point for Irizarry if I wanted to. It's just I don't really have much of a place to plug him in. We've already used William today. There's ball 4, actually. About to run back with the base runner to first base, but that's ball 4. Now we've got Fred Morcaldi, who came in after William pinch hit here and got the single. He's not as good against lefties, but I think he's one of our only remaining infielders. So as much as I'd love to plug in Irizarry here and kind of have that 90 pop versus lefties, I don't really have much for defensive replacements. There's a fastball right on the black for strike 3. So that's kind of a bummer, but Cordova at the top of the lineup does have contact versus lefties. And wow, again, fastball down the middle. Cordova, just one of those double play artists, and that will lead to the 9th inning. So Bauer's going to go the full distance here. I think I'm going to go 3 innings with him. His confidence is all the way up. Energy still well in the green. And when you need a lockdown pitcher to stay alive, you just keep rolling with them as there's a fly out to left. We may be looking at extra innings here. I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but the Tides have the bottom of the order. We do have the 2, 3, and 4 hitters upcoming in the bottom of the 9th. So even if we do give up the lead here, we'll have some of our best offensive opportunity to come back. Schaefer takes that Bauer slider. We're going to double up again with it. And he takes it twice. Okay. 3 and 2. Schaefer from Bauer. And a great fastball on the outside part of the plate. He had to swing at it to stay alive. Cervantes will glove this one in foul ground. The Phantoms are 1 out away from getting out of the 9th inning and having a potential walk-off opportunity. They'll face Ronald Bermudez, who is 0 for 3 so far today. Going to go with the slider. It's one of his bread and butter pitches. I don't like throwing it to left-handed hitters, but that one's going to be a soft liner to third. So there you go. Phantoms with a chance here to walk things off. Taylor to lead off, one of the best speedy guys on the team. Cervantes, Campillo, and McBride are next up after him. They'll leave in Jimmy Ramirez, the left-handed pitcher, although I would not be surprised at all to bring in a righty if you're the Tides against Cervantes. As you get a look there at the bullpen, Branch, their closer, is warming up, as well as left-hander Eric Dye. They have a lot of lefties in the bullpen. Taylor, though, will have to protect here with a 1-2 count. It's going to be a fastball on the outside part of the plate. Land fair. Thank you very much. Another lawn dart out there. Well, we had McCall who hit one to left. This time it's to right field. As much as I'd love to kind of steal with Taylor, this is exactly why you don't need the base steal. If you can hit it out of the ballpark, Ramon Cervantes with a walk-off 2-run home run. His second 2-run home run of the game. And the Phantoms stay alive here. They avoid the sweep. A happy moment here for the Phantoms. I mean, it's kind of inevitable, I think, with the simulation, what's going to happen next. But this is a good way to end the season anyhow. A World Series win at home. You walk it off here against the Florida Tides. It's now 3-1 in the series, Florida. But Cervantes, he has just really come alive here in the postseason especially. He's been hot and cold all year. And now has finally found his groove here with some of those pull hits. This one, I mean, even if it didn't go over the fence, I think Taylor might have even had a chance to score from first base. But look at this absolute laser out to left center field onto the pavilion. Oh yeah, that just made it by a few feet. So we'll see if this carries over to the simulation. The Phantoms have that energy now. They have some confidence. I mean, the reverse sweep is something that's never been done before in the World Series at least. And Chuck Bauer, 3 innings out of the bullpen, gets the win. He is not going to pitch tomorrow. I know that for certain. There again is your player of the game, Ramon Cervantes, 3 for 5, 2 home runs, 4 RBI, 2 2-run homers. Chuck Bauer, 3 innings, 2 strikeouts, no hits allowed. Well, if this is the end of the season, I thank you for watching and hope that the season here, even though we might lose the World Series, ended on a happy note. I for sure was excited when all that happened. And this is the whole nature of the series. I mean, we're not here to win every single game. I even up the difficulty here in the postseason to make it harder on myself. I didn't know if I was actually going to make the World Series when I first started this. It's 162 games. We made a few roster moves. Only played about 14 or 15 games throughout the season. And again, we lost the first game of the World Series, so that kind of led to our tailspin here with 3 straight losses. But just to show you guys that I'm not cheesing this entire franchise, I have a timer right here, which I will start. And then I will simulate the next few games, see what happens. And indeed, we lose the next game to the Florida Tides. So that will be your season. The Salem Phantoms do get a win in the World Series, but lose 4 games to 1. A great season, though, especially for the roster, as we get a look here again at the rankings that we had. I mean, the fact that the Phantoms made it to the World Series, user interaction with some of the games aside, they were 18th in the league with a lot of things, and that was after we made a few bolsters to the infield and the bullpen. So the fact that they made it to the World Series in the first place is kind of an incredible thing. Tides were one of the best teams in the league. As you get a look there, they went down to 10th, which I don't think was accurate when we first started the playoffs. But again, you look there, 2nd in contact, 7th in pitching, 6th in speed. Power's low, but they did a great show of power, especially in some of our games against us. But that'll do it for this episode. We'll have a postseason and off-season wrap-up here for our next episode. I have no idea how long it might be. It might be 5 minutes, could be 20. We're gonna, I made a few moves during the season just to kind of, at least even out some of the ball club, since we had no lefties in the bullpen or anything like that. But this off-season, I'm just gonna let the game kind of do its own thing again. I'm not going to force any trades or any manual signings. I'm just going to see what happens and how much the team changes. We'll get a look at the awards here, though, and Ramon Cervantes, playoff MVP for the American League. Jimenez ended up being the World Series MVP, and he did have a few big hits in Game 4, especially the one that they ended up losing. But 476 average in the World Series, Not too shabby. Postseason MVP, you get a look there. Cervantes, 3 home runs, 13 RBI, 357 average. I mean, not bad for a guy who batted 252 this season. He was just, like I said, 260, 270, like kind of up and down the whole season. Really found his groove when he needed it the most. Unfortunately, the team could not capitalize it with the title, but a great season nonetheless. So that's it for gameplay in season number 1 for the Salem Phantoms. We'll be moving on to 2053. I do not know when season 2 will be beginning. I do kind of want to start this franchise up again, as well as my old Madden franchise, the Norfolk Defenders, since it's getting closer to football season. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to juggle 2 franchises at the same time, but this was kind of a passion project for me. I made all of the logos for these teams. Phantoms especially are a team that I have just really kind of started to love. And I do want this to continue past at least 1 season. I just don't know when that will be. So again, postseason wrap up next, off-season recap, and then we will maybe make like a video that kind of recaps all of season 1. So that way you can watch something just before the start of season 2, whenever that is. But signing off for now, this is Kasabe. Thank you so much for sticking around with me this entire regular season, and we'll see you with the off-season recap next time out.